Hey guys, how is it going? I hope everyone is doing well, day or night, whenever you tune in. This is going to be a general reading for water signs Scorpio. So it is general, it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. All forms of abundance, money, what have you. Okay, so it is also a timeless reading. So for some people, it can resonate within the time frame in the title. So from like March 19th through April 19th, but for other group of you, it may resonate as an example as far back as 6 months in the past, a year in the past, or 6 months in the future, a year in the future. All right, so always keep that in mind as well. And so we're going to get into your reading here in just a moment. I just wanted to say welcome to anyone that is new, and also welcome back to people who are coming back. All right, everybody is important, and I appreciate your energy and your views and your shares and your subscriptions, which is all free and great ways to support the channel here. So yes, what else was I going to say? Yes, so I'm going to be taking a photo at the end of the live and posting it afterwards. Just one photo of all the cards in case you want to see it more up close in detail. So if you want to do that after the live, you can just click in the description box below and follow the instructions there and how to get to my Facebook page and all that. It's pretty easy. So what else? Yes, this reading may be for more than, let's say, sun sign Scorpio, rising sign Scorpio, someone who has a moon in their Scorpio, since we all have Scorpio somewhere in our chart, okay? Because we have all 12 zodiac signs throughout our each individual birth chart. So there may still be a message for you here about your Scorpio energy, how it may be showing up for you at this time. So anyway, everybody is welcome, all is welcome, right? So we're gonna do the sound bell in 1 second. I think, was there something else I was gonna mention? I talked about the photo, yes. I think that was it. So maybe if it comes to me after the sound bell, I'll mention it. But let's go ahead and do that for some grounding for the reading and some general healing for myself and for you guys. So just be aware, sometimes it does get loud if you're sensitive to that. So if you want to, you can take a deep breath in and out whenever, or just breathe normally and listen. All right. Okay, Scorpio. So yeah, I'm gonna put the sound bell over here. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into your reading here. Again, I hope everyone is doing well. So I did want to talk about real quickly, that's right, I put it in the title that for your reading for this segment or this time period, even though time is fluid and relative and it depends on when you watch it and who you are, it may be unique to you, of course, but there are 8 major arcanas here in your reading, so that does speak of a significant amount of change. And you also have 1 repeating card, so we'll talk about that when it comes up. But as far as the 8 major arcanas that showed up in your reading, anytime that happens, it does speak of a significant amount of change coming up, or maybe it's already taken place, or a little bit of both, right? It could have started but not finished yet, but you know, it just really depends, okay? So as far as the major arcanas too, we're gonna go ahead right now and call out the other zodiac sign energies that I do see here present in your reading, in case that's something that you're interested in. You may be dealing with one of those signs, or you may have some of those signs predominantly in your own birth chart, or the other person does, or multiple people. General environment situation, it could also speak to some collective unconscious, and just general astrology, or it means nothing at all to you. So that's okay too, right? Just take it how it resonates. So we do have some Aquarius energy, we have Gemini energy, we have 2 Cancer cards, that's your repeating card. We have Libra, we have Scorpio. You showed up in your own reading as your official card, the Death card. And then we also have the Wheel of Fortune, which represents 4 different zodiac signs in one card. So that'd be Scorpio again, Taurus, Aquarius, and Leo. All right. So again, that may mean something to you, but it doesn't necessarily have to. Okay. So let's go ahead and also break down kind of the form of how the reading may go as far as what cards placements mean and all of that. Okay. So we're going to start in the center and then work outwards to your tarot confirmation cards. And then we're also going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of each deck to get even more information. And so I'm using 2 different decks. All right. And at the very end, we'll talk about your oracle cards as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and call these cards out in the center. So we have 2 of Sacred Circles, or also known as 2 of Pentacles in reverse position, the Lovers in the right side up position, the Chariot in the reverse position, the Prince of Cups right side up, the Princess of Cups right side up, the 6 of Staves, also known as 6 of Wands right side up. We have the Empress right side up, the Death card right side up, and the Ace of Cups right side up. So yes, lots of majors, like I said. Okay. The other thing I wanted to mention too as well, the other reason for maybe checking out your other placements is if we go through this reading and you find it's not your reading, never force it, okay? It could be about the other person you're dealing with or multiple people, general environment situation, or it just doesn't resonate at all, which is okay. So that's why I always say check out the other videos on my channel, but also because depending on what's going on in your life, you may resonate more with your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign. So it's always good to do that, right? And so you can do that free online just by Googling it. Even if you don't have your exact birth time, let's say, as long as you have your birthday and your birthplace, you should still be able to get a pretty decent birth chart. All right, so let's go ahead and get up in this reading. Okay, so we have your first row here could be energy around, let's say, March 19th, right, through March 31st, to the end of March for the first row going across. And the second row going across could be energy around, it could be a little bit before, a little bit after. None of this is exact, right? We're going to say from about April 1st through about April 9th for the second. And then the third will be from about April 9th to about April 19th or so, all right? And there is also in the first row can be, recent past energy that's still kind of trickling in, right? And also some of your confirmation cards will be more recent past energy. So what is the recent past to you? It will be different for everyone, but it could be a couple of days ago, a couple of hours, minutes, seconds, etc., right? It could be months, it could be years, okay? So it will be different for everybody. But we start off your reading here with a little bit of like an energetic blockage or like a gentle reminder, right? Because we start with the 2 of Sacred Circles in the reverse position here, Scorpio. So this could be saying that towards the end of March, maybe you or someone around you or an energy present was struggling to work with their own priorities, struggling to balance, let's say, between the 5D spiritual unconscious world and the 3D physical world where we're at this table, right? It could also be that somebody wasn't believing in their own magic in a certain way with the 2 of Sacred Circles or 2 of Pentacles in the reverse position, or they were just really feeling that stagnant kind of energy or energetic blockage that I was mentioning before, okay? So normally when this card is right side up, you would see the back of this Native American guy's head, and he's calling to the bear spirit to be powerful, right? To also be all about the hibernation, okay? So having things and resources and money and health and love, whatever it is, or all those things, to be saved for the future if there was a winter storm, right? Or things would be, resources might be dwindling. Okay, so that's kind of the energy of the bear spirit. But when it's in reverse, it's like somebody or some energy maybe perhaps didn't feel like calling out, didn't know how to call out and to try to manifest to bring these qualities to them. But it's really also just like they're struggling with like basic kind of energy here or priorities, okay? Because the two of sacred circles, right? Again, if it was right side up, it would be stacking your abundance, slowly moving forward, but it is in the reverse, okay? And also, if you turn it on its side, you would see that infinity symbol going around the bear and around the Native American man. So when I said it's in reverse, it's almost like someone is not believing in their own magic or just having a harder time manifesting things, okay? So real quickly, this is where we're going to talk about what's on the top and the bottom of your deck to get even more insight, and then we'll move forward because you still have some really good cards. It's not the end of the world per se, right? So what we have is, this is now energy from further back in the past, okay? Further back past the recent past, obviously. All right, so we have the star in the right, no, it's not right side up. The star in the reverse position and the fool in the reverse position, okay? And we're talking about it with that two of sacred circles in reverse. So it looks like in some way here, Scorpio, in the way back past, either you yourself, another person, multiple people, general environment, or an energy, was not feeling inspired, was not hopeful for the future, was again kind of struggling with the 3D and the 5D balance between the worlds. Maybe they were also kind of not dealing with their emotions with the water present here, but remember it's reversed, okay? But then also with the Fool card reversed, it's like there could have been some kind of instance where somebody was not trusting or wanting to take a leap of faith, or they didn't want to look foolish in some kind of way. It also could be, when we talk about the emotions with the water and the star card and then the Fool card here, that maybe they are avoiding going inwards in some regards as far as their ego, okay, dealing with ego, identity, that kind of issues that could have been present here, okay? But you'll know, right, if that resonates with you or not, all right? But, you know, as we move forward, you have the Lover's card in the right side up position. So now this is really nice progress, right? This is forward momentum here. This speaks of really beautiful, supportive energy coming in for you here, okay? And it is about sacred unions. It's about higher vibrational love and frequency. It could be romantic, of course, but it also could speak of a work partnership, unions of with friends and family, or also unions of different parts of yourself coming together if you're working on self-love, as an example, okay? But both of these people are each, or these energies, could also be energies, are each giving each other the same amount. There's reciprocity and equal give and take, and they bring out the best in each other, okay? And this is also some Gemini energy that we mentioned earlier. And then with the star, right, that we talked about back there, that's Aquarius, and the Fool is kind of Gemini, Sagittarius, but more Gemini, I would say. All right, now moving forward, we go from the Lovers in the right side up position to now the Chariot in the reverse position. And this is some Cancer energy here. And it would be kind of like your, sorry, just turning the music back up. Almost like your second kind of energetic blockage, or a little bit of stagnant energy. It seems like it's all kind of in this first row for you here. So that last 2 weeks or so of March, and then your other cards in the center don't have any more stagnant energy or energetic blockage, okay? So like I said, there's still good stuff coming up. So when this Chariot shows up in the reverse position, it can speak of, right, somebody not wanting to deal with emotions in a certain way, because if it was right side up, he's taking his chariot through the water, okay? And these two lions are pulling it, okay? One on each side. One represents the masculine energy, and one would be the feminine energy that we all have inside of ourselves, okay? So when it's in the reverse position, it could be somebody not wanting to deal with their emotions in a certain way, right? But also there could be an imbalance between some kind of masculine and feminine energy here, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be, again, an energetic blockage, a slowing down, a complete halt of energy. If the Chariot was right side up, it would be really fast, go, 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 go energy, right? But this is like, stop, put the brakes on completely. All right, you're stuck at the traffic light, something like that, okay? But we'll find out more as we go into what's on the top and the bottom of your other deck here. And this is where we talk about your repeating card because you have the Chariot again, okay? So this is energy from the way back past again. So you have the Chariot this time on the top of the deck in the right side up position here. And then you have the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse position on the bottom. Okay. So it seems like in the past, in some way here, Scorpio, there was a lot of forward momentum and progress. Okay. There was, again, more balancing between masculine and feminine energies for some. And there was just, there was like this progress. Yes, this forward momentum, this energy behind backing you, backing something in your life or backing something in the other person's life or vice versa, right? But then at the same time that all that positive stuff was going on with the Chariot in the right side up position, then you also had the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse position. So this is kind of telling me that if something was moving really fast in a certain regard in the past, that it then kind of led to this energy of somebody losing their focus, their skill, their determination, and also that supportive energy from whatever your support system or their support system may be, okay? Or just a supportive energy in general, okay? Because it's in reverse. So that could be why the Chariot came out again this time in the more future current present energies in the reverse position, okay? Because if the Nine of Pentacles had been up, right? There's this beautiful woman here. She's in the field with all her pentacles, and she's looking at the falcon. So the falcon represents that skill, determination, and focus. She's worked really hard to get to this place. She has a lot of supportive people around her that want to help, or supportive energy, right? It's 9. It would be, if it was right side up, close to 10. So culmination coming right over the hill, right? So really close to an ending and a new beginning, but it is reversed. So I really feel like the main reason why this Chariot could be in the reverse position here for that last 2 weeks or so of March is because somebody's focus or skill or determination is off or not being used at all. Or it could also just be they're not feeling supported in some way or abundant or just this general stagnant energy that we mentioned, okay? But that is enough of that because, like I said, it does get better. Okay, energy always ebbs and flows. So here we are now in your fourth card, on your fourth card in the second row, right? And we have the Prince of Cups in the right side up position. So here comes this guy galloping on his horse. He's moving forward. It's forward momentum, progress, all those things. And so the cups in the tarot also represent emotions. So he is really pretty clear about what makes him emotionally happy, content, fulfilled, what his emotional priorities are, emotional boundaries as well. All right. But he also could be now in like more of a celebratory energy and bringing with him some type of communication, right? So the princes and the knights talk about a communication. So it could be that in that first week of April, you're going to give to a communication to someone, or someone's going to give a communication to you, or it could be an opportunity from the universe, from your spirit guides, guardian angels, what have you, okay? But it would say that it would be a medium-sized opportunity or a medium-sized communication, but he is leaving the storm behind him, right? He's going on to greener pastures, as they say, all right, or clear skies, all right? And so what is a medium-sized communication? It could be, for some, as an example, basically like if a text message would be a page as equivalent to a page, right? Because a page is beneath a prince or a knight. And then a knight or a prince would be an email or a phone call or whatever, you know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing where, let's say it's not the biggest communication or biggest opportunity in the whole world, but it is starting somewhere. And it is a nice kind of medium size. It's not too small, it's not too big yet, but it's like, you know, what is that stupid, or not stupid, but what is that song? Started from the bottom, now we're here, whatever. So I don't know why that just came to me, but Anyway, this is really nice to see here, Scorpio, especially following that chariot in reverse. So you can even see the growth and just those two cards right there. So from one row to the next, there's kind of this newer, lighter energy here. Now, moving forward into maybe like possibly the middle of the week or weekend, that first week of April, you have now the Princess of Cups in the right side up position. And I haven't seen it in quite some time where they're both right next to each other like that. So it's pretty cool to see. So the other thing, and I'll hold them together as I say it, right, is that the princes, the knights, and the princesses, they all are open to learning new things because she's not a queen yet and he's not a king yet, okay? And they also both represent the emotions with the cup, all right? But it's really good to always try to learn something new and to stay curious about the world, regardless of your status, your age, how much money you have or don't have, etc., okay? But when this Princess of Cups comes out, this does speak of some Pisces energy, and it has the full moon in the background. So the moon card in the tarot is the official Pisces energy. Since we're now officially in Aries season, there could have been something going on that started perhaps maybe back in Pisces season. It doesn't have to necessarily be that way, but it also just generally talks about her leaving behind past illusions and now wanting to move forward. So it's again, just like the Prince of Cups, this is the princess. It's moving forward, it's progress, all of that stuff, okay? Now, the other thing about this card, since this is like a Morgana-like figure, she's the Celtic goddess of herbal magic and witchcraft, right? She's out at night picking her herbs. So it kind of has this energy too of something to do with doing something in a non-traditional way for not necessarily everybody, but for some, okay? So I was saying this card was showing up in a lot of the readings for the last set of readings and also this set. So they'll be in different places and stuff and different rows. And it didn't come out in the last two particular readings, I think, but here she is again. So she's like famous right now. I feel like this card is just all over. Okay. So it definitely could have something to do with the astrology too, like I was mentioning before when we talked about the zodiac signs that we may see come up or certain zodiac energy, right? So as far as the Pisces energy, I'm trying to look at my paper from far away, but I do know that we have, yes, on April 12th, Jupiter is conjunct Neptune. So actually, Jupiter is one of the rulers of Pisces, and so is Neptune. So it's very like, it could be for most, hopefully, a complementary energy. And even though that may be happening more in the second row, technically, since that would be the time period, but it could be that some of you maybe are feeling the effects of that ahead of time. But it doesn't necessarily have to be for everyone. It could just be the general meaning of the card and the things that we already kind of mentioned here. So going forward from the Prince of Cups to the Princess of Cups, now we have the wonderful Six of Staves in the right side up position. This could be happening more towards the end of the first week of April, perhaps for some. It's not exact, right? But it's this really beautiful, supportive energy, and it's about celebrations as well. So all these Egyptian people are cheering on this guy in his chariot. Okay, they're doing some kind of race or something. And so everyone is out and they're supporting this guy. They really want him to win this race, okay? And when we talk about the wands or the staves, that's also what it's known as in this deck, it can talk about our defenses, right? Are defenses too high? Are they too low? That kind of thing. Are my defenses too high, as an example, right? Not in this card, but just an example. Am I blocking my abundance if I'm not letting people in enough? Okay, as an example. Another example in the other way would be, are my defenses too low and I'm seen as vulnerable or I'm being taken advantage of? That kind of thing. But here with this Six of Staves or Six of Wands right side up, this would be the positive side of the wand, right? So the wand also, just like a sword, can be used as a tool or a weapon. So this would be the more favorable side. But also when we talk about issues of health, right, it could be that your health is getting better for some of you guys at this time, since it is in the positive position, okay? Because when we talk about defenses, is it too high? Is it too low? Also, your as far as your body and your health, your immune system is a defense shield, right? That's your immune system, okay? So there could be something there about health, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. All right, so now moving forward, we get into your third row, and this could be energy around April 9th through April 19th or so, okay? Now we have the Empress in the right side up position, and this is some Libra energy here. Yeah, I called out the other ones, right? Yes, I did. Okay. I'm just trying to remember. So when this wonderful Empress in the right side up position shows up, she is the businesswoman of the tarot, the CEO, right? So she is almost just like a queen. She's sitting on her throne and she is pregnant. She has planted some seeds for the future that haven't shown its abundance yet, okay? But she's also channeled her emotions in a positive way with the waterfall in the background. And she has this, symbol of feminine energy on the side. This is about abundance, creativity, progress, forward momentum, all of those things. So if you look at it just in these two cards too, it's like double support. Like both of these cards can represent supportive energy from your support system, your romantic partner, your friends, your family, your mental health care worker, etc. Whatever your support system may be, or the other person, if this is not necessarily about you, Libra, it could be about the other person you're dealing with, or multiple people, general environment situation, right? But it's really beautiful, okay? I like to see it. Now, also a little bit too, another thing I just realized as well is that since in the second row you had the prince and the princess, and now you have the empress, there could be some leveling up happening for some of you guys as well, okay? Because she's almost like a queen, right? So it could be a leadership role when I said the businesswoman of the tarot, or the CEO, right? The top executive, what have you. So some type of leadership role or quality. But if it's not necessarily like a tangible role of a leader, or a position, or a person of high authority, or in a position of high authority, it could also be leadership role as far as stepping into your own power, or they're stepping into more of their own power. They're embodying this kind of royal energy, okay? So it could also be that. So it could be, if there is some leveling up going starting to happen around this time, around mid-April. It could be at work, it could be in a partnership, romantic or platonic, it could be with health, it could be with money, it could be lots of different things, but that energy is also there as well. Excuse me. Now moving forward, we get to your 8th card here, and it is your official card in the tarot, right? We have the Death card in the right side up position. So it's always cool when the zodiac reading that I'm doing, their official card comes out, okay? Especially when it's in the right side up position. So this could be just as easy and as simple as you are feeling more like yourself during this time period, okay? For some of you guys, right? Depending on where Scorpio is in your chart, okay? Maybe not necessarily for the people who aren't, sun sign, rising sign Scorpio, or have their moon in Scorpio, but it will be different for everybody. Now, the majority of the rest of the other people, right, or even you yourself, Scorpio, if you are sun sign, rising sign, moon in Scorpio, is that this card talks about change, right? But it's kind of good change. Doesn't mean someone's going to die, doesn't mean anything scary like that. It's basically saying the dying of the old to make room for the new. So an example would be during spring cleaning time, right? You're taking out clothes from your closet that you no longer wear or don't fit or what have you, and you're taking them out and donating them. So then you have some space in your closet in case you need to purchase new clothes or whatever it is, okay? So it's kind of basically like clearing out the old and making room for the new. So here you see this little child, and they're kind of playing with a skull, which I know is kind of like a morbid thing, but it's more of the metaphor, right? So we also see water in the background and the death ferryman in the background as well. And then we see the owl at the top. So through these changes, whether they're big changes or small changes, right, there's going to be wisdom around them, okay? And so I see this as a really beautiful thing. So when I see the death card, I instantly think, okay, that's a rebirth, okay? That's what, you know, Scorpio energy is pretty well known for, right? I actually, for the Libra reading, for one of their oracle cards, I got it was talking about the phoenix rising out of the ashes. Well, like that feels very Scorpio to me, okay? So, you know, sometimes that does happen. You didn't get that card, but it's like, what previous zodiac sign is before you and also after you sometimes has some crossovers or similarities, just as like a side note, okay? But anyway, I feel like this death card here, though, moving forward, is clearing the way for your last card in the center here, which is the Ace of Cups in the right side up position. So getting rid of the old stagnant energy, maybe that we were talking about in the beginning, or whatever it is, old clothes, whatever, old philosophy, viewpoint, what have you, right? To make room for this wonderful Ace of Cups in the right side up position. So again, the cups are talking about what makes me emotionally happy, content, fulfilled, what makes other people emotionally happy and content and fulfilled that I have to work with, or that are in my family or my friends or general environment situation, the whole world, whatever it is, right? But it is like aces are that new beginning, right? So clearing away the old to make room for the new, and then it comes in like that, Scorpio. Okay, I try to snap, but I don't really know how to. So if you're seeing me like, what is she doing? I'm just trying to snap, but it doesn't really work. Anyway, when this Ace of Cups comes in, it's like your cup is literally runneth over, right? There's so much water here. There's so much emotions, but it's positive emotions, okay? And so this also kind of speaks of resiliency. So when you see this card in other decks, there'll also be little lotus flowers in the water. So the lotus flowers represent that resiliency, because when you think of flowers, normally they're growing in the ground, in the dirt, okay? But then through evolution, somehow the lotus flower is like, I'm going to grow in this water, you know, I'm going to make it work. So there's also could be the reason why you had that dying of the old and making room for this new beginning, this fresh start energy, is because you were really resilient through maybe possibly a difficult environment or situation. You still found the positive somehow in some difficult environment, okay? So I really feel that, you know, this is like well earned and deserved here. So hopefully, you know, this does resonate for you. So we're not done with the tarot just yet, though. Let's talk about real quickly your tarot confirmation cards that are along the side here. I'll call them out and then we'll go in order. So you have the Wheel of Fortune right side up. You have the Knight of Cups right side up. You have the Knight of Swords right side up, and then you have the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position. So I actually forgot to count how many of each minor arcana you have here in your reading. So let me do that now. So as far as Pentacles, you have 1, 2. Yes, okay. So you only have 2. So that's it's definitely not the Pentacles. All right. So how many swords do you have? 1. 1 sword. So it's definitely not the swords. How many wands do you have? I know you had a couple of wands. Where are we? 1. We can only be 1. Really? Well, I guess so, because you did have a lot of majors, right? You had 8 major arcana. So I guess that's true. So how many cups did you have? Okay, you definitely had 3 cups, right? Yes. So what does this mean? Why am I talking about this? It could be another underlying theme in your reading. So I always count, or I try to remember to count how many cups, how many swords, how many pentacles, how many wands, right? So your majority of your minor arcana here were cups. So that does kind of speak of emotional stuff. Okay, so the emotions, the water, right, in the cups. So it could be that you are also kind of calling into question, or someone here is calling into question, or an energy is just coming about where it's like, what do I emotionally value? How am I being emotionally valued? What is making me emotionally content, happy, fulfilled? What are emotional boundaries, priorities, all that stuff that we talked about before. So anyway, let's go forward and back. Let's go forward back to where we were talking about your tarot confirmation cards. So what we have, right, is the first one is the Wheel of Fortune. But I wanted to say real quickly that the first two here represent energy from the recent past, and then the last two are more future, current, present energies, possibilities, probabilities, all that, okay? So with the first one here, the Wheel of Fortune in the right side up position, and again, this is energy from the recent past, whatever that means for you, okay? It looks like that could have been the right time for something in the recent past where you possibly felt more abundant, or the other person did, or multiple people, general environment situation, but luck was really on their side here. And it shows that it was the right time for something, okay? We will kind of, I can't say exactly what that may be in reference to, since again, it is kind of a general, it is a general reading, not kind of, it is a general reading, but this is the confirmation card, right? So it's going to come in here and confirm these cards going vertically. So let's see if we can find out possibly what it may be about here. All right, so it's coming in, the Wheel of Fortune, to confirm the Two of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, and the Empress in the right side up position, okay? So for two of these energies, I would say it was very complementary, okay, for the Empress and the Prince of Cups, but we will go one by one. And then with the first one here, the Two of Sacred Circles in the reverse position, it could be kind of just telling us, the reason, or one of the possible reasons why this Two of Sacred Circles was in the reverse position, your first card of the reading, talking about having a really hard time juggling between some priorities here, juggling also between the 5D, let's say, which could be the collective unconscious, or conscious unconscious in general. It's the spiritual world, and then the 3D physical world where this table is, where we have to pay our bills, okay? But also somebody could have just been feeling like this stagnant energy, not believing in their own magic or their ability to manifest something, because perhaps in the recent past it was way easier to do that. Okay, so that's basically kind of what I feel like the Wheel of Fortune can be saying here. Okay, so maybe in the past it was just way easier for somebody here, or something, or some kind of energy here. So it could just be like that frustration where, like, well, in the past it was a lot easier, so why isn't it working exactly that way that it worked in the recent past? But also remember too, we had what was on the top and the bottom of your deck here, along with that Two of Sacred Circles in the reverse position from before. And it was saying a lack of inspiration, a lack of dealing with the emotions, a lack of, again, balancing between the 3D physical world and the 5D spiritual world. And then also maybe not, dealing with any issues of ego or identity around trusting in something, or making a leap of faith, okay? So maybe in the recent past, there was also more trust, and things were going to work out better because maybe in the recent past, things were more favorable or complementary to you in a certain way. But let's keep going forward here, because like I said, I can't say exactly what area of your life it's speaking to, since it will be different for everybody. But when this Wheel of Fortune comes in here and is confirming the Prince of Cups right side up, this is very complementary and is definitely confirming each other, right? So if there is some type of medium-sized communication that you're going to give the first week of April, or someone's going to give to you, or a medium-sized opportunity from someone or from the universe, your spirit guides, guardian angels. This is coming in here and saying, yes, this is possibly now a better time to do that than maybe the end of March. Okay, so maybe things are now becoming more favorable again, and there is going to be an easier time to manifest things and also to work on the emotions, right? Since the cups in the tarot represent the emotions as well. But it is for momentum. And it's like the Wheel of Fortune is confirming that perhaps now the wheel is turning again more in your favor, or more complementary energy in some type of way there. Now, when the Wheel of Fortune comes in here and it confirms the Empress right side up, again, very complementary and confirming each other back and forth. So this is saying that, right, that third week, I'm sorry, not the third week, the third row. So like the middle of April, so about April 9th to 19th or so, stepping into this energy of the Empress, right? Bossing up, leveling up in some way in a leadership role, or you're stepping more into your power, or the other person is feeling their royal energy, right? They've channeled their emotions in a positive way. But also, when we look at the Empress, right, remember she's pregnant, and then we're talking about time over here with the Wheel of Fortune. So it could also just be saying that if you want to be successful in the immediate future, you're going to have to plant the seeds like right now, right? So if luck is more on your side, or you're feeling like it's the right time for something, you know, always trust your instincts is like the most important thing, right? I could ever say in any reading. So if something's telling you that now is the right time to start developing something, then I would always, you know, go with what your instincts are saying, okay? But now moving forward, we're going to talk about your second confirmation card here, which is the Knight of Cups right side up. So it's interesting because, oh no, you have another repeating card. Oh my God, I keep doing this. So this is one of my newer decks, and that's why. But look, the Prince of Cups and the Knight of Cups are the same card. So I'll have to fix the title. And so sorry about that. So you have two repeating cards, okay? But this is, before we get into that, let's go ahead right here and talk about I'm going ahead of myself. When this Page of Cups, Knight of Cups is this energy from the recent past, remember? So it's kind of saying again, because you did have, I was starting to do it right, the Prince of Cups in the right side up position, the same card in the more future, present, current energies. It's like maybe another medium-sized opportunity is going to come in that reminds you or triggers them or multiple people, general environment situation of something that happened in the recent past, because it's very similar energy, okay? But it doesn't have to be. It can also just represent, right, for momentum, being really good with balancing your emotions in the right, correct way, as far as asking what makes you happy, what makes other people happy emotionally, right? And just coming out of that storm that was behind the guy over here, and now to like more lighter energy and greener pastures, as they say, okay? So I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but if you've seen me before, you know. Okay, so when you do have a repeating card, remember you also have the Chariot over here repeating. It's a particular message from Spirit. So there's usually 72 cards in every tarot deck, so that's 1 in 72 chances that it's going to come out again. And here, it's also, they're both in the same position, which is interesting too. It doesn't always, like this one, one's reversed and one's right side up. So it's like the spirits or your guardian angels, spirit guides, ancestors, the creator, God, whatever you want to call it, right? They're like, pay attention to this, okay? This is like really important. Not that the other stuff isn't, but this is like doubly kind of important here. So this card, remember, is a confirmation card, and it's coming in to confirm all these cards, right? So coming in to confirm the Two of Sacred Circles in reverse, the Prince of Cups right side up, and the Empress right side up. We already did that, right? But I got sidetracked for a second, sorry. I need more coffee. That's why. This card, the Knight of Cups, is confirming now this row. I started to go backwards because that was your repeating card. So yes, I'm going to get it together. So let's do it again. The Knight of Cups is coming in here and confirming the Lovers right side up, the Princess of Cups right side up, and the Death card right side up. Yes, that is more correct. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's been a long day, lots of talking. But I would say for all of these, it's very complementary energy, right? It's all about for momentum and progress, okay? So we'll kind of go one by one here real quickly. But with the Lovers card right side up, it could be that if there is or was, since this is recent past energy, some type of communication or offer, medium-sized offer that came in, it could have been very supportive of this sacred union, whether it's romantic or work, business, partnership with friends or family, or even different parts of yourself coming together. It was very complimentary of that. Now, this could also be a new union, sacred union, whatever that means for you, or it can be an existing one that is strengthening it even more, right? Since this energy is from the recent past, okay? But, you know, I like to see it. It's very nice, supportive energy, okay? And like I said before, too, with the Lovers right side up, it's like higher vibrational love, higher vibrational energies, two people or two energies present are just bringing the best out in each other. All right, now when the Knight of Cups comes in here and is confirming the Princess of Cups, right? It's kind of saying what we already said earlier, because you had the other one over here, the other Prince of Cups, where you know, they are both open to learning new things. They're both learning to work with their emotions in a positive way with the water in each card here. And they are slowly moving forward to becoming eventually a king and a queen, right? So it can be also that energy again of being right around an ending and a new beginning. If you hear Scorpio or someone else, multiple people, general environment situation, does indeed want to level up in some area of their life, okay? But it also speaks of this communication, medium-sized communication from the recent past, or medium-sized opportunity from the recent past, coming in here and supporting the Princess of Cups. Like if you want to do something that may require you to do something more unconventional, right? She's picking her herbs at night, but it doesn't necessarily have to be unconventional. That's what I've been saying as far as this card, right? But it could also be, maybe it's something you've never done before. Maybe it's not necessarily unconventional, but it's unconventional to you or unconventional to them or to a group of people or energies here, okay? But it is supporting that, okay? And then also when the Knight of Cups in the right side up position is confirming the Death card right side up, it's like, yes, clear away the past and make room for the new, okay? Know that if it's scary or challenging, that is usually for the best, right? We're gonna have, life is all about change. Whether we welcome it or not, it's gonna happen. So it's usually better when we try to flow with it a little bit more easily, right? Like instead of swimming against the tide, going with the tide, as they say. And there's also the owl at the top too, right? That wisdom energy. So there may be something about a communication, medium-sized communication from the recent past that you gave or someone gave to you, or a medium-sized opportunity that came in that was kind of trying to teach you some wisdom or share some wisdom with you. Perhaps maybe even somebody was suggesting that you make these changes or make this change, or somebody was just, again, very supportive or complimentary here of this energy. So very nice to see. All right. Now, as we get into your last two confirmation cards, these are a little bit different, right? This is the more future, current, present energies or possibilities coming up. So, sorry, 1 second. I want to turn the music up again. Got really quiet, and I try to keep the dogs as quiet as possible too. So, anyway, now we start off with another knight. So yeah, technically you have 3 knights here. So 2 knights and 1 prince, but prince is the same thing as knight, right? So this time we have the Knight of Swords right side up. So what is this talking about? Forward momentum, progress. The swords in the tarot talk about our intellect, our mind, our logical brain, operation, our crown chakra, okay? But it is also, again, talking about this medium-sized opportunity or communication that maybe it's a new one, right? Since this is in the more future energies, not the recent past, okay? So a medium-sized opportunity that perhaps is new, or it's adding on to the one excuse me, that was previously given in some way, okay? But this one also talks about mental clarity. So when you're using your mind or your crown chakra in the right way, you're going to have more mental clarity. The other person is general environment situation, okay? But it's coming in here. It's for momentum and progress, and it is confirming the Chariot in reverse, the Six of Staves right side up, and the Ace of Cups right side up. All right. So for these two, it's very complementary, right? But for the first one, for the Chariot in reverse, it could just be giving us a little bit of an answer here, where in that last 2 weeks or so of March, if there was some stagnant energy or lack of balance between masculine and feminine energies, or someone not wanting to deal with some type of emotion here, that, possibly, I would say for some people, right, the stereotype can be that if you give into your emotions, that you're going to lose focus. You're going to lose that skill, determination, and focus that the Nine of Pentacles in reverse was talking about. But I don't think that's necessarily true, right? So if you're using your emotions and you're embracing your shadow, you're doing your self-care, is actually going to make your skill, determination, and focus even better, right? So then that's kind of what this Knight of Swords is also talking about. Like, I'm going to bring you more opportunities and communications if you kind of embrace if there's any type of emotional stuff or blockage or stagnant energy there, okay? Now, when it comes in and is confirming the Six of Staves right side up, they both are very complementary energy as well, right? So this could be definitely saying, since this is the future, current, present energies, right? That if there's a medium-sized communication or opportunity that comes in, possibly it leads to more supportive energy. It also leads to celebrations, right? Party atmosphere, good times, okay? So, hopefully that would be wonderful, right? Who doesn't want more of that? All right. And then when it comes in here, this Knight of Swords is confirming the Ace of Cups right side up. Yeah, if you hear Scorpio or another person or multiple people, general environment situation, didn't have that resiliency that we were talking about with the Ace of Cups, didn't deal with the emotions and channel it into something more tangible, more useful, the good emotions and the bad emotions, then you're not going to have that mental clarity, yes, right on the bell. And also you're not going to be able to fully appreciate or understand if there is opportunity or communication coming in. Okay, so that is beautiful. Now, your last confirmation card, and another sign got this card too. I can't remember now which one it was, but it doesn't matter. Your fourth confirmation card is the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse position. Sometimes when there is similar cards and similar readings, it can speak of more of the astrology or collective unconscious. That's why I try to kind of keep track. But anyway, let's just talk about what this card means on its own, okay? So since it is in the future, current, present energies, right, possibilities, there is a little bit of somebody possibly hesitant to level up in some way in a relationship, in a job, with their health, with their money. Maybe they're not feeling enough support from their support system, or there's just some general kind of stagnant energy here, okay? Because normally when she's right side up, this woman is looking very content, right? And this queen, she's a queen, okay, the Queen of Pentacles, she doesn't look bothered. She kind of has this scarf like half draping over her face here. but she's very comfortable in her position, right? She's worked hard to get there, but she also delegates tasks to others, and she's a good leader and all of these things, okay? But that would be if it was right side up. So when it's reversed, it could just be a gentle reminder or nudge to have you work on some of those things here, Scorpio, or the other person, as far as how do I want to level up if I do? How do I want to step in a leadership role if I do? How do I, if it's not a leadership role, step into my own power and feel more of that royal energy? And how do I get more abundance, right? When we're talking about Pentacles, she's the Queen of Pentacles. So the Pentacles, the coin, is talking about money, but it's also talking about all forms of abundance. So whatever it is you want to manifest in your life besides money, right? So it kind of reminds me a little bit of, yeah, the Two of Sacred Circles in your first card of the reading too, where I was saying someone is not trusting their own magic, or they're having a harder time manifesting something. It's kind of a similar energy I get too from the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. But anyway, it's a reminder, right? But she's coming in here because she's a confirmation card, and she's going to confirm the same ones we just did this last row going down, but maybe in a more deeper level, or just adding a few other couple notes here. All right. So Queen of Pentacles is confirming the Chariot in reverse, the Six of Staves right side up, and the Ace of Cups right side up. Okay, so you know, it would be just like kind of the other one where we're saying it's supportive of two of these cards, but not necessarily, excuse me, my nose, and not necessarily the first one, right? So when it is coming in here and confirming the Chariot in reverse, it just kind of also saying something very similar as far as, you know, if you want to get things back on track and have more momentum and progress, if you want to have a more of a balance between the masculine and feminine energies, or the other person does, or multiple people, general environment situation, then someone needs to step into their power. They need to call on their support system, right? She's sitting in her throne, her back is comfortable, she's leaning back. That represents a support system. Oh, I got your back, right? So who is that going to be for you, or who is that already for you? Okay, so you can then eventually switch the Chariot in reverse to now right side up, and also switch the Queen of Pentacles in reverse to now the Queen of Pentacles right side up. Okay, so when she's also coming in here and she's confirming the Six of Staves right side up, it's like, okay, well, if I said this in one of the other readings, or maybe I already said it here too, I can't remember anymore. If you don't let your support system, whatever that is for you, appreciate the losses and the wins with you, right? So some people say, oh, I only go to people if I need help with something, or if things are going wrong. Well, that's not necessarily a great friendship. A good friendship or good support would be also to celebrate the wins, right? So get into that celebratory energy, the supportive energy. So if you want to be the queen and you want to level up and you want to be a leader and step into your own power, you also have to realize that we all need somebody and we all need support, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? So to be more abundant, to have more money, wealth, love in your life, creativity, etc., just be open to your team supporting you, right? Through the good and the bad. Okay, and now when the Queen of Pentacles comes in here in reverse and is confirming the Ace of Cups right side up, it's like, I'm trying to think of the way to say it. She's resilient too, right? Remember when I was talking about the Ace of Cups right side up in other decks, how you would see a lotus flower? This lady looks tough to me, right? Like she's unbothered, if you can see her expression. Sometimes if I get too close, it'll go out of focus. But She is unbothered, y'all. Okay. She's worked really hard to get to that position. And she doesn't, again, do it all by herself. She delegates tasks to other people and to work more as a team. Now, if she wants to be more abundant, to have more pentacles, right? Since she is officially the queen, she's got all of them already, but she's in reverse. Perhaps she needs to, again, dive into the emotions, into the cup, into the water to kind of figure out if there's some questions that need to be answered. But also, I kind of feel like it goes back to one of your cards from the beginning, to the Fool in the reverse position. If she doesn't trust herself or trust her team to take a leap of faith, right? To risk looking foolish to themselves and others, then she's not going to get even more pentacles. She's not going to get the cup that's runneth over, right? If she doesn't kind of have that kind of trust that if you clear out the old and bring in the new, that the new will be better, okay? So that's kind of what I'm getting there with your tarot cards. All right, before you go, real quickly, we do have your oracle cards as well. All right, so your first one is your love oracle message. Whether you're watching for romantic love or platonic love with friends and family or self-love or all those things, your message for this time period, Scorpio, is engagement. And it says your love life is ascending to a higher level of commitment. Okay, so obviously for romantic reasons, that could be somebody is now exclusively dating someone, as before they were seeing multiple people, or suddenly now they're moving in together with someone, or they're getting married, or they're having kids, or they're whatever, right? It's just like the next level up, ascending higher to a higher level of commitment. Okay. Now, if this is with friends and family, it could just be that there's like a deeper connection with those friends and family. Again, ascending to higher vibrational love, right? To go back to the Lover's card, higher vibrational unions, whether romantic, platonic, friends, family, self-love, right? It's just saying if you want to ascend to do that, if they're really meant to be in your life or be part of that sacred connection with you, then it will happen. Okay. All right. And your second and last oracle card here is from the Rumi or Remy, depending on how you pronounce it, Oracle deck by Elena Fairchild. So I usually say Rumi, but yeah, Rumi was a 13th century Persian poet. And so she's taken some of his poetry and put it together with these beautiful cards. So I'll read the poem real quickly. It's not too long. And then I'll also have like a 2 to 3 sentence meditation to get further into this energy if you want. Okay, so the Rumi Oracle card that you got for this time period, Scorpio, is card number 15, and it says Divine Mother Manifest. And you see this woman here, and she's has her arms around some kind of glowing orb-like thing here. Okay, so let's see what she has to say, or he has to say about this woman. Okay, so it says Divine Mother Manifests. O you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss. For those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards. We share her, this divine mother, you and I. We are her precious children. We are born through her love, and she shares in our losses and in our gains, our tragedies and our triumphs. Her hair forms the galaxies, her thoughts become the stars. The sun is her own warmth, and her breath is felt upon this earth, causing the roar of the ocean waves. Her voice is heard in the call of the whales and the trill of the birds. She is all, nurturing life into existence. She is in my reaching for you, and she is in your acceptance of my divine hand. She is all, this great lady. Nothing lies outside of her sphere of influence and power, compassion and grace. That includes you and your dreams, great and small, my angel of love. Okay, very beautiful. So yes, speaking of the Mother Earth, right? Energy, the Divine Mother. Okay, so here's the little ritual. It says, place your left hand with palm facing upwards in front of you, reaching out as if to receive, and say aloud, Divine Mother, through your gracious compassion and bounty, I humbly bow. Now bow your head to your hand for a moment as if you wish, kneel, or kiss the floor. In this action, allow yourself to truly surrender into the workings of love. Just intend to surrender, and it shall be. Then arise and place your left hand out again with palms facing upward and the arm extended slightly as if to receive, and say aloud, I willingly accept the bestowal of grace now manifesting into a form as a heartfelt wish delivered to me through the Divine Mother's genius and generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then it says, you have now finished your sacred honoring ritual meditation. So yeah, that's cool. I like that. I like it, the last part in particular. I willingly accept the bestowal of grace now manifesting into a form as a heartfelt wish delivered to me through the Divine Mother's genius and generosity. So yeah, that is super beautiful. I feel like that could definitely go with a lot of these cards, but I would say it could go with the Ace of Cups. It could go with the Lovers. It could go with the Fool. If the Fool is right side up, it could go with the Wheel of Fortune. It could go with a lot of them, but it is really beautiful. All right, so Scorpio, that is your reading for this time period, and hopefully you got something out of it. And thank you guys so much, as always, for your energy, for your likes, for your shares, and your subscriptions. Also, too, if you want to see the photo, I will be posting it shortly. So if you want to click in the description box below, you can follow the instructions there on how to see the photo of the cards if you want. And also, if you want to subscribe and you haven't yet, it is free. So all you have to do is click on the bell icon in the bottom right and make sure it's blue and active and all that good stuff. And then it'll just notify you when I put out new readings. So anyway, enjoy this time period. And I'm not sure, guys, if I'm going to do Sagittarius tonight or tomorrow. We'll see how the energy goes. But you're always welcome to join me in the other videos if you like. But either way, just take care. So I'll see you guys later. All right. Bye.